Welcome back, guys. I am back with another video, and today we'll be starting a new unit, that is solving a biological problem. So the first thing that we have to understand is, what do you mean by a biological method? It is simply a method that is used to solve a biological problem. What is it? It is a method that is used to solve a biological problem. Now, this method comprises of number of steps. There are total of about 7 steps that are involved in this biological method, which is used to identify and then solve that biological problem. One by one, we'll be discussing each step and we'll know what role every step is going to play in it. So the first step is the recognition of a biological problem. Now we'll have to discuss that what is a biological problem basically. A biological problem is a question. What is it? It is a question that comes into the mind of any layperson or a scientist that is associated with someone, with some living organism. This is a question that is asked by an individual or any scientist related to the living organism. For example, if we talk about nowadays, COVID is there, right? That is a biological problem that needs to be resolved. Similarly, malaria was there, dengue fever was there, number of diseases were there, and all of those are the biological problems. Global warming, that is a biological problem. Similarly, number of things are there which are biological problems and they need to be resolved and they are related to living organisms. So it is a question that needs to be asked and that needs to be resolved. So the first step is the recognition. हम लोगों ने recognize करना है कि where this problem lies and what is the reason of this problem and how it can be resolved. This is how the biological method will be utilized. So the first step is the recognition or identification of a biological problem. Now, this moves on to another step, that is the observation. Now, what is observation? Observation is simply to observe, right? Observe करना है हमने किसके through? With the help of our 5 senses. With the help of our 5 senses, which are hearing, smell, touch, taste, and vision. The first thing that we'll be noticing will be with these 5 senses. Anything we'll observe, we'll do it with these 5 senses, right? So after the recognition of a biological problem, this is how the observation is going to play a role. We are going to observe, we are going to see what are the changes that are occurring in the environment, why they are occurring. This is what you mean by observation. Okay, so this is how we are observing it with the help of our 5 senses. Now, observations are further divided into 2 types, qualitative and quantitative. The name is indicating. Qualitative will basically deals with the quality of anything, right? And quantitative will deal with the quantity. If we just have to simply differentiate these 2 types, we can say this is immeasurable. Right? That qualitative observation is immeasurable, which cannot be measured. जिसको हम लोग measure नहीं कर सकते. Whereas quantitative is measurable. Obviously, it is a quantity. It is numbers. It is in numbers, so we can easily measure it. Right? Then this is variable. What do you mean by variable? Anything that can be changed. जिसको हम change कर सके. That is the meaning of variable. Whereas quantitative are invariable, cannot be changed. It will remain the same always because it is in the form of numbers, right? This cannot be recorded in the form of numbers. Obviously, it's a quality, cannot be recorded, right, in the form of numbers. Whereas this can be recorded. We can easily record it in the form of numbers. This is the major difference between two. I can just simplify it with the help of an example. For example, if we say the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Whereas the freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius. Right? This is the universal truth. Boiling point of water will always remain 100 degrees Celsius, right? And freezing point of water will always remain 0 degrees Celsius. We cannot change it. This has been recorded in terms of number. It is measurable. It is invariable, cannot be changed. Whereas, if we talk about qualitative observation, we'll just be saying that the boiling point of water is hotter than the freezing point. Simple. We are just telling the quality of that substance, right? That the boiling water is hotter as compared to the freezing water. So this is how the qualitative and quantitative observations are differentiated from each other. This is how the differentiation occurs. Okay. So this was the second step of the observation. Second step of the biological method. Then we'll move on to the third step, that is the formulation of hypothesis. Now, what is hypothesis? This is the tentative explanation. Now, what is the meaning of tentative? The word tentative means uncertain. Anything that is not yet confirmed, uncertain. इसके बारे में हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि it is correct or it is wrong, right? So it is a tentative explanation of observation. The things we have observed, the problems we have observed, those will then be discussed in the hypothesis. We'll give an uncertain explanation of those observations in the form of a statement. A hypothesis will be given in the form of a statement. So this is what you call a hypothesis as. Now, in order to make a hypothesis, there are a number of features that should be present within that hypothesis, within that statement, a simple statement that will be given. Suppose I'll give you an example. If people are suffering from malaria, right? If people are suffering from malaria, and we know that it is spreading with the help of the mosquitoes, right? Mosquitoes are responsible for the spread of those malaria. But we are not sure about it. That how mosquitoes are spreading the disease, spreading malaria. But we'll give a hypothesis, a general statement that mosquitoes will be the reason for the spread of malaria. Okay? Mosquitoes are the reason for the spread of malaria. This is an uncertain statement. It can neither be confirmed nor be rejected. It is tentative explanation. We have just said the statement on the basis of the observation. This is hypothesis, which is yet to be proven right or wrong. And for those things, we have to perform the other steps, right? So the tentative explanation of observation will be known as hypothesis. Now, hypothesis needs to have certain characteristics. Few of them are, it should be simple. The first thing, it should be a simple statement. A statement that cannot be changed. A statement that cannot be proven right or wrong. It should be a general statement or it should be a simple statement. It should be as simple as possible and it should be a general statement in which we are not confirming anything or we are not rejecting anything, right? Then it should be related to observations. The observations that we have performed, it should be related to that. The observation on the basis of which hypothesis is given. This hypothesis needs to be related to those observations. It should be a tentative idea. meaning that it is uncertain. We are not sure about its correctiveness, that whether it is correct or whether it is wrong. We need to find that out. And the last one is that it should be falsifiable. What is the meaning of falsifiable? That on the basis of the experimentation, the hypothesis can be proven wrong, can be proven false. That is the meaning of falsifiable. That we are able to say that this hypothesis can be wrong on the basis of these experimentations, or the result that are formed on the basis of these experimentations. Okay? So these are the simple characteristics that need to be present within the hypothesis that we are forming. The hypothesis that we are giving is this is very much important for those hypotheses. Okay, so we are going to discuss the biological method till here for now. I'll be completing this topic in the next video, but I'll give you an overview of this complete lesson, complete lecture. That is we started from the unit that is solving a biological problem. And the first thing that we discussed was the biological method. It is a method used to solve a biological problem, right? Then there were 7 steps, those were involved. Those 7 steps are recognition of a biological problem, observations, then comes the hypothesis, deduction, experimentation, then summarization and reporting. These are all steps that will be discussed one by one. Then comes the recognition of a biological problem. What is a biological problem? It is the question that comes into the mind of a scientist or a person that needs to be resolved and is associated with living organism. It's a biological problem, obviously, right? So the biological problem needs to be associated with living organism. Therefore, this is the first step to identify that biological problem. Then comes the second step, that is the observation, to observe with the help of our 5 senses, which are hearing, smelling, touch, taste, and vision. These are all 5 senses. From this, we are going to observe the problem, to identify the problem. And these observations are further divided into 2 types, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative obviously will tell us the quality, whereas quantitative will tell us the quantity. And quantitative is much more accurate as compared to qualitative because of these 4 reasons. That it is a quantity, it can be measured, it is invariable, and it can be recorded in terms of number. Whereas the opposite is in the case of the qualitative observation, right? Then the last step that we have discussed today is the hypothesis. We have discussed hypothesis. And what is a hypothesis? Hypothesis is the tentative explanation of the observation. A general statement, a simple statement, which can never be proven wrong or right unless the experimentations are done on it. But the statement isn't telling us whether it is right or wrong. It is just a general statement. And the statement needs to have these following characteristics. That mean that it should be simple, it should be general, it should relate to the observations on the basis of which it was made, and it should be a tentative idea, an uncertain idea, and it should be falsifiable, which can be proven wrong with the help of the experimentation. Clear? So we will conclude our lesson till here, and we will discuss the next 4 steps in the next lesson. And I hope everything is clear. Let me know in the comment section if you have got any question. Would love to hear back from you. And subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. Till next time. Bye bye.